What's up, everybody? It's episode 5 of the Negrolosophy Pod. Okay, I got some guests with me here today. Of course, I'm Jay Rich. This is
Muhammad Iman,
Carson Mercedes,
Roy and Boo.
and today we're going to be talking about leadership. All right, just like every episode, we're going to start off with our quote, and this is the quote for today. First, arouse in the other person an eager want. He who can do this has the whole world with him. He who cannot walks a lonely way. So the first thing I want to talk about is what makes a good leader, in y'all's opinion.
I think to start off, they gotta be someone that's like respectable, that everyone doesn't mind, taking advice for them. Taking advice from them, and someone who at least does their best to live day by day by their example and the best example for, their people. I'll say put it like that.
So that makes I'd be like a good leader to me. Like I'd be thinking of somebody that, for me, you can be comfortable with going to. So like somebody that like has opened themselves up to like, for me, criticisms, or not even just criticism, but like just ideas and just shit like that.
I'd probably say a good leader is someone that is feared, not in the sense of like I'm scared of bro or like I'm scared of whoever, but like kind of like in that authoritative sense where like you're scared of like your father, your pops, for example.
Like scared of letting them down on some shit.
Yeah, awesome.
Like fear God, like.
Yeah.
I think, so this reminds me of like what I feel like are the 5 ways a leader can gain respect. Because I feel like there are 5 different ways, but they're kind of equally weighed also. But you need all 5 to be a really good leader. Number 1, I think as a leader, like you said, you got to be feared. Just some level of like, especially among men, like if you're somebody that people feel like they could just push over, do anything to, you're not going to be able to do anything. There's not going to be weight behind your words. So 1, you got to be feared. Secondly, I feel like as a good leader, you got to be loved. Right? Now, this is harder. This takes a long time. But if as a leader, your people love you, then they'll do anything for you, right? You don't have to tell them to do things. They'll just do it.
Wait, kind of going on that. You ever heard like how love and hate can be equal?
Yes.
Cause like, would you say that's like, cause love is very subjective and different for everybody. Right. So what type of love would you say that leader needs to have? Or like be getting to get that leadership quality, because some people could be loved but not like, oh, I love you in a way that we're like, I would never see. People would say that I would never do this, I would never stab you in your back because I love you,
right?
But you know what I'm saying? No, I'm trying to say
I get what you're trying to say, but I think that the type of love I'm talking about isn't like the romantic love, which is like the opposite of a romantic love is that hate, because it's passionate. Like, I'm not talking about passionate love, like, oh my God, I love this. Like, it's like a love that's between friends, that's between brothers, like, you know what I'm saying? That's like a more respect love. Like, this is somebody I know, right? The opposite of like what you're talking about is passionate. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about passionate love. I'm talking about like respectful, like brotherly love. So I think that's the difference.
Okay.
The third way I think that you gain respect is through ability. Right, so if you're just really good at something, like if you're the best player on the basketball team, you're gonna get respect, right? But just because, wow, this nigga's cold. And then the 4th part is from knowledge, right? So if you know something that somebody else doesn't know, people will respect you. Like, wow, he knows something I don't know. That's respect. And then the last part, which I feel like you kind of touched on, is from separation, right? So if we're all a part of a group, and I say, and we all go out all the time, and I say, hey, I'm not going out no more, right? And I just stop going out. You're gonna gain some respect because people are gonna look at you like damn, like you're doing something different, right? So I feel like as a leader, to be a really good leader, if you have all 5 of those, you're gonna have strong respect because people respect your ability, they'll respect your knowledge, they'll fear you just a little bit, they'll love you, and they'll also know that you're separated from yourself. To be a leader, that kind of denotes separation. How are you gonna lead me and we're doing the same shit? You got to be doing some different things. You feel me? But so, how do y'all feel like y'all have interacted with leaders like in your life, and what have you gained from them? Do y'all feel like y'all are leaders in your own right? And if so, what are some of the qualities that you try and like push out through your leadership?
That's a good question. I would say, off a personal level, I don't think so, because I'm not at the highest level I know I could be at. So that doesn't mean I can't be a leader, but I feel like there's some things that I need to stand on and solidify within myself to even try to be a leader, because I want to be a leader that's living by what they preach, practice what they preach.
So do you feel like, because what I'm hearing from you is almost like, and I know this isn't what you mean, but it's like you have to be perfect to be a leader.
No, not at all.
Because I feel like
you don't have to be perfect, but I feel like you should be like trying every day, like.
And so you don't feel like you try every day?
I'm gonna be real. I really don't. Like, I'm not trying to be a leader. Like, if I tried to be a leader, that's what I would aim for.
I don't mean trying to be a leader. I mean like trying to, like, for example, like if you're trying to be a leader and you're telling everybody, hey, like, we can't be doing all this smoking. But like every once in a while you smoke.
Yeah. But what if I'm smoking every day? I'm saying.
No, I'm saying like if you're smoking every day, if you're telling everybody to smoke, that's one thing.
Right. But that doesn't make me a leader, even though I'm informing, I'm telling them the right thing. I'm just not living by it. I'm just not that type of person to do that. But if I was to do that, would that make me a leader? Because I'm leading you in the right direction. You just not. You just worry about looking at me.
I think what makes leaders, kind of what Mo said, is like, if you're leveling like, hey, this is a struggle for me too. So if like as a leader you try to say, hey, we all need to stop smoking, but I'm not gonna lie to y'all, like smoking, like I smoke every day, like it's a crutch for me, like, but we gonna work on it together. I think that gains you a lot more respect as a leader rather than like, yo, y'all need to stop smoking, and I'm gonna try to stop smoking, but shit, I just be doing that shit. Right? It's the leveling, the understanding of like, yo, this is really hard for me to stop, but I want y'all to stop, I want me to stop, so let's work on this together. Let's see if we can, 2 days a week we're not gonna smoke, and then next week we're gonna try 3 days a week, and then I think that's where the good leadership comes in. Go ahead, Mo.
No, well, I got like something completely different. So like I feel like everybody is a leader in their own respect. For me, because like there's somebody in your life that's looking up to your life. Somebody in your life that's looking for me. That's that guy that's looking up to what you're doing for me, trying to imitate or emulate. And also too, like what you're saying, like that's right. But there's also bad leaders too for me. So you could be a bad leader and still be leading other people on some shit. So like,
and I think
you can unintentionally be a leader. Like an impactful leader.
And I think you brought up a good point in the fact that like some people think like leadership is not important to learn because you're not a leader. First of all, like leadership is not a position, it's action, right? So you don't have to be in a position to be a leader. And also as men, God willing, we all become fathers one day. We all will be leaders at some point. So to me, every single man should be learning leadership skills and how to be a leader, because eventually you're going to be the head of your household. You're going to be man of the house. You're going to be leading your children, your sons, your daughters, your family. So this is not like I ain't president or nothing. I ain't treasurer or nothing. I don't need to really learn how to be a leader. Like this is like things you need to learn now before, you have to lead a family. But I feel like this leads into my next question. Do y'all feel like leadership can be learned, or it has to be born a part of you? Like,
it could be either way. Like, it could be either way. Like, some people, I feel like some people are just
natural born leaders.
Yeah, or like they grew up in a household where they're raised to become leaders, and some people aren't raised in that same environment or like come up with that same mentality and might learn those qualities and those traits and start walking in that. So like, I feel like it could go either way.
I agree with Roy. I feel like I think it plays. I think you also need to learn, even though you could have that foundation, it could be a part of your personality to be a leader. But I feel like you still got to learn how to be a good leader, because like Mo said, everyone's a leader. Like that's kind of why I wasn't looking at it like that. But what I will say is like, if I was to want to be a leader, I'd want to be a good leader. So that's why I held myself to that standard, because I'd want to be a leader that everyone would feel comfortable like leading them. Like, you feel me? And I'd want my kids, and my daughter, whatever, to have that example in their life. So for sure, I think you should learn how to be a leader.
So I'm looking at this, mind you, this is the book that I'm using today as the kind of source material. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. This is the first book I read when I found out I was going to be president of BMU, because I was like, if I'm finna be leader of an organization, I need to like know what I'm talking about. So this is the first book I read, and I took every single thing from this book and I tried to apply it. And I want y'all to, here's what I'm gonna read off these principles, and I want y'all to notice if I've ever done these things. Like, if y'all ever have seen me do these things. If not, be like, nah, I don't remember you ever doing this. But like, just see. So principle 1 is begin with praise and honest appreciation. So before you like criticize somebody, begin with praise. Like, tell them it's the sandwich method. Like, I like you. You're fucking up, but you're a good person. You know, that stuff. All right. Principle 2, call attention to people's mistakes indirectly. Principle 3, talk about your own mistakes before criticizing the other person. Principle 4, ask questions instead of giving direct orders. Principle 5, let the other person save face rather than trying to win an argument. Principle 6, praise the slightest improvement and praise every improvement. Be hearty in your, it's a big word, approbation, and lavish in your praise.
What does that mean?
What the hell?
I actually don't know.
Approbation.
Approbation.
I'm using the context. I'm guessing that means I'm not even gonna try. We'll look that one up. That's our wordle for today. Principle 7, give the other person a fine reputation to live up to. And then the last one, principle 8, use encouragement, make the fault seem easy to correct. So did any of those stick out to y'all?
Yes,
Sure.
absolutely.
Which one?
It was 2. The first one was what's it called? Praise first, and then I remember vividly, extremely vividly. It was when somebody came to me with an idea. He tapped me on the leg. It was like, watch. But it was an idea,
Right.
and then like, feel me, it was an idea. But like you said, you know, it sounds good. You know, just figure out how we can get that going. Feel me, and then we'll see how it goes.
Yes.
And
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, and the second one I was just gonna say was what was it? Praising people into, what was it? Praising people into.
So there's praise the slightest improvement. Is that what you're talking about, or is it
Something people into, like the example I was gonna use is like when you tell people, like when you want somebody to be in an equal position, you hype them up into that shit.
Okay, so I wanna talk about both of those. So the first one.
Yeah.
So in my leadership time, when I was in leadership, people would always come up to me with ideas. Some of them good, a lot of them really bad. But what I took from that is, if people are giving you ideas in your organization, that means what?
Like your organization has.
It means they're invested. Like they're invested. Like they see something and they're like, they care. So for me, it's a positive, regardless if your idea is bad or not. And for me to keep you invested, I know if I crap on your idea, you're probably not going to be invested anymore. So it's how do I, and it comes from a genuine place. So even if I think the idea is terrible, I'm genuinely happy that you're digging at something. So when I tell somebody, I say, look, this is an idea, work on it, give me the logistics. When I tell them that, and they try to do the logistics, they realize their idea probably wasn't very realistic. But I didn't just shit on their idea. And I also tell them, I see that you're invested. I'm gonna see how I can get you in more conversations now.
Well, you ever think like, what's it called? Like you giving them that like shows how invested they really are about the idea. Like,
Yeah.
you giving me the idea, you gonna see if they really don't want to do it.
Exactly. Because if I tell you, listen, this is a good idea, but since this is your idea, you know, I need you to figure out when, where we're gonna do it, how much it's gonna cost. I need you to talk to our treasurer, see if it fits into our budget, and then come back to me in a couple of weeks because the semester's about to end. So if we're gonna do it, we got to do it soon. If this is something you really want to do, then you're gonna come back to me with the outline. If you was just throwing it at the wall just so, you know, you could see what was gonna happen, then you probably not gonna follow up that much.
So I feel like there's a fine line between praising and then being a people pleaser. Because like, let's say 100 people come to you with an idea.
Right.
They're pretty good ideas.
Right.
Some of them aren't.
Right.
But you're giving them the same response. Some of them give you the logistics that are good and it makes sense. Some of them give you logistics that are just shit.
Right.
So how do you go about that?
So So I did it in like stages. So when you first give me an idea, I'm never going to shit on an idea immediately, right? Because at the end of the day, who am I? Like, your idea might be really good and I just don't see it. This is we'll talk about this in manifestation. You might see something so clear in your head, but you're the only person that sees it. And so you have to work on it to get to a certain point until everybody, like when Caleb was probably starting Jug, he probably saw how great a brand this would be, right? And nobody else probably seen it until now he got it and now everybody want to get on, right? That doesn't mean everybody was necessarily hating on it. It means it was his vision. So I'm not going to shit on your idea just because I don't see it. But what I will say is I need the there before I can say we're going to do this.
Yeah.
So I give everybody, no matter what I do, I give everybody the same, listen, tell me how we're going to do this. That's the first step. Second time, when you come to me how we're going to do this, I'm going to tell you whether we can do it or not, because that's just a fact base. All right, if you tell me this is going to cost $6,000, we can't do it. It doesn't matter whether it's a good idea or not. It don't make no sense. Right? If you tell me, you want to rent out both the ballrooms and have 6 rooms in LBJ, I'm going to tell you, we can't do that, right? So then it's going down to the nuts and the bolts. It's not about whether it's a good idea or not. It's whether this is feasible.
Yeah.
So I think it's not people pleasing to tell everybody who has an idea, thank you for that idea. I appreciate you investing. Give me the nuts and the bolts and we can sit down and have a real conversation. It's not people pleasing. It's letting people know that you appreciate them investing and having that interest. And then now you get down to the nitty gritty. And that's where you can be like, okay, this isn't realistic. This is realistic. Then the third part is, this is realistic. This is the last part. Does it fit within BMU? I told this to everybody. We shouldn't do any events, meetings that does not fit within the 3 main goals of BMU. If you can't tell me how this event fits into the 3 main goals, it could be a great event. The nuts and bolts can line up, but this just isn't for us.
Yeah.
You might need to do this somewhere else. So that's kind of the way I do about it, and I think it's been pretty successful. And now, what was the second thing that you said?
Like raising people into positions.
Exactly. This is part of the thing I think about leaders is you have to be you have to have a big ego. You have to have a big ego. You have to, and we'll talk about that. You have to have a big ego, and 2, and this I was talking about this with Josh. You have to be this is gonna sound bad, but this isn't
an asshole.
Delusional, yes. Asshole, no. You have to be manipulative.
Yeah.
You have to be manipulative, because if you're a leader, and to me, all good leaders are visionaries, which means you feel like you see where things should go. You see where people in your organization should go. You have to have a hand, because somebody might not see where they think they should go. Like, for example, in my life, in terms of where I can go, y'all might see clearer things that would be good for me than I can see for myself. We have our own blind spots. Just like for Mo, for Carson, for Warren, I might see like, yo, you got a talent, you got to invest in that. And in your head, you're like, bro, I'm not really, right? So when I put people on e-board positions or anything within BMU, it's because I'm like, I see something in you. I need you to see it also. And so if I got to tell you like, bro, you're really good like talking to people. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're a really good connector. I've noticed that about you. He's like, you know what? I really am good. And that,
Second thought.
and you see, and that leads people rather than just putting it on somebody like, yeah, you should be vice president. Well, I don't know if I'm good enough for vice. No, trust me, you're good enough for vice president. He'd just be like, doesn't imposter syndrome comes on. You got to like kind of show people that they're a good leader. Tell people the traits that they already have.
I think that shit placebo too. Or if you tell somebody, oh, you're a good talker, and then you become more of a better talker.
For sure, because everybody wants an identity, and everybody wants to be like known for something. Like I tell this, I said, Zay, you're doing some really good leadership things. Because I said, the more you could give people roles in BMU, the more people would be invested. So he told Hoop the other day, he was like, Hoop, you the BMU enforcer. And Hoop, he was like, bet. You know what I'm saying? And he took that. And I said, Zay, that's what you got to do. You got to give people their place, and it's not coming from a cynical. You're not just giving people like bullshit. Like, yeah, Mo, you the dancing nigga in BMU. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's coming from a real thing. Like, Hoop, he likes that. He saw that as a part of his personality. Bam, right? And then the more you can do that efficiently, like see a talent in somebody, give them an e-board position. Prime example, JT. We didn't have a social events committee last year. The first week, what inspired me for that was when niggas threw the first week of parties. Right, mind you, I had y'all impression of y'all freshman year. Y'all come back sophomore year. Y'all throwing all these parties. I'm seeing all this. I'm like, damn, they having some motion. I'm gonna tell you exactly what went in my mind. I said, these niggas having some motion. BMU need that. That's what I said. I said BMU needs that. So I went to JT. I said, JT, we want to make an e-board position just for you. Social events committee. I said, yeah. You really. I said, I see how you having this motion. Like, we need that in BMU. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you could say it's manipulation, or you could say it's giving somebody a place where they can shine. Yeah. So, but did y'all see any principles that stood out to y'all that I was reading off?
I'll probably say the one that I was talking about how like as a leader you can, but it's not really ideal to tell people what to do, but use other avenues to get people to do what you want to do. It kind of goes hand in hand with like the manipulation thing. Like you kind of have to like play into the personality you're dealing with, and whether it's like what you just described as like you really good talking with people, this and the third, or like asking questions to eventually get them to do what you need them to do essentially.
I think the undergirding part about all of this is like, to be a good leader, you have to be personable and likable. Like you can be a leader that's like an asshole, but you won't get as far as, like, that's what I realized. When I first became a leader, I was like, okay, I gotta cuss niggas out. I gotta be like, hey bro, like get this shit done, like immediately. And you could get places there, especially if like you a nigga that's like just gonna enforce it like that. But you're not gonna get nowhere near as far if you could get people to just like really do it on their own, just be personable. This is a quote I say all the time. People don't join organizations, they join people. So if niggas know you're an asshole, why would they join your organization? You know what I'm saying? You'll get some people, but for an organization like BMU, that's not like that, you know, people gotta join. Like it doesn't have like established, it's not like a fraternity or something. You know, people could just not join. So what is gonna get people out their dorm, out the rec, to be like, well, they be like, damn, I fuck with Mo. Mo a cool ass nigga. He my RA. I fuck with Mo. I fuck with Carson. He, you know, I smoked with him the other day. He cool. Da da. I fuck with Roy. Da da da. He cool. Da da da. I fuck with Jay Rich. You know what I'm saying? He came and dap me up in George's and blah blah blah. Right, and that's gonna get him in the door. And then you hit him with the knowledge. You feel me? So, and so I wanted to read this quote because this is what I just read off. It isn't nearly so difficult to listen to a recital of your faults if the person criticizing begins by humbly admitting that he too is far from impeccable. So this is something I use a lot, which is self-deprecation. Whenever I feel like I gotta have a real conversation with anybody in BMU, I always start by shitting on myself. I always start. Or even in the meeting, talking about anything, I always start off by like, bro, freshman year, bro, I used to smoke crazy, bro. When I was telling Josh, like, bro, Josh, you gotta stop smoking. I told him, bro, I smoke 3 times a day, bro. I was smoking crazy. And then I gave him the other part. When we was talking about white women, I said, look, before college, you know, I wasn't going crazy, but you know, I didn't see nothing wrong with it. Yeah. So I tell all the freshmen, I'm not blaming you coming in and doing what you don't know what you don't know. But I'm like, sit down and have a conversation with me and just listen to me. You know, but I'm not judging you like that. So I think the self-deprecation, humanizing yourself, lets people be like, oh, he's not just attacking me. Have y'all seen, has that ever happened to y'all? And have y'all ever done that to somebody?
I seen that somewhere, and I don't apply it often, but there's just one time where someone was telling me about like when someone like talks about their struggle, I don't want them to feel like they're the only one to open up to me about something. So like I'd probably, before I give them advice on it, sometimes like it depends how close you are, I would give them a story, or like I'd give them an example to like kind of back up kind of where I'm getting that information from, so I'm not just like throwing it out there and they're just like, oh, you're just, like you said, kind of not attacking me or like checking me or like trying to hold me accountable, versus like, so they don't see you, oh, like you're just this perfect person trying to give me advice. So like you got to come from somewhere where you can relate. And one of the brothers had told me like try to relate to, and like the way to like gain influence, try to relate to people, as many people as you can, even if it's something small, like it could be you have a dog just like them. Try to relate to them, because that's going to get that connection. They're going to want to listen to you more. They're going to feel like, okay, maybe this person is like, you know, interested in me or like, cares about me.
So I think another part about being a leader is being able to win arguments, and win arguments in a way that people don't feel like you won them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you ever been in an argument with somebody and you lost? How do you feel after that?
It's like, damn,
you like,
I suck.
Like you
Like, a little salty.
You know what I'm saying? Like you salty. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's
going back in your mind.
You feel me? Like, damn, I should have said that.
Yeah, bro, you go like, fuck. Where did I fuck
Could have
up?
got him.
Right, but a good leader can start off an argument like you got a disagreement with somebody and y'all disagreeing, and a good leader can have an argument and have the other person walking away feeling like, I feel like he heard what I was saying, and I also learned something from that. So I think one of the things I learned about leadership, and I, you know, put this into practice just last week, is as long as you get what you want out the argument,
Right.
who cares whether the other person feels like you're right or not?
Wins or not.
Right, wins or not. This is what I'm saying. This is where it comes from when we talked about your meeting, the debate meeting. Which is like, if you come into every conversation truly trying to learn and steel man another person, okay, this is what you said, right? For the people that don't know, steel manning an argument is basically when somebody gives you an argument, you try and put it in the best terms possible. You don't try and say it any different. If somebody tells you, I think the summer is better than the winter, you say, okay, you think the summer is better than the winter because the weather, because the months, because the holidays. Is that what you said? You steel man that argument as best as possible. Then you take that argument and then you attack it. When you're steel manning that, then you're having a real conversation rather than just trying to hearing what somebody says and then just bat.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think as a leader, I realized very quickly, let me stop trying to argue with people and other people know that I just beat them and know that I'm right. You can think that you're right. That's fine. You might actually be right.
Right.
What do I want out of this argument? When I come into this conversation, what do I want at the end of this conversation? If we get there, I'm happy. Regardless of whatever else. You feel me?
The goal of debate.
I feel like that's. Oh my
The goal of debate is to gain an understanding. It's like not to win.
Facts.
Right.
Facts.
I was gonna say, I feel like that's easier said than remember. You're in an argument, emotions get involved. So nigga not just gonna be like, yeah, you may have got what you wanted. Now it's like, oh, he hurt my pride. He attacked me in a certain way, whatever. He may not have directly did it, but in a way, feel me, niggas could just get disrespected just because you're not even agreeing with me. Now I'm disrespected.
Well, let's
just in general.
I mean, we had the African Debate Society meeting last week, and it was a lively conversation. Do you feel like I kept my cool?
Towards the end, y'all started cutting each other off. So I peeped that. I was like, whoa.
Right.
This took a little turn.
Right.
Feel me?
I mean, I will say, I could say internally, maybe at times it showed differently. I never lost my cool in the conversation. Did I lose? I was trying to make sure like the conversation wasn't being like dominated. Yeah. So when I was cutting people off, it was more like, okay, that person speak. Okay, that person speak. But it was less like, you know, like shut up, like, you know, arguing. But I think like, you know, people had questions for me, and I was being pressed. And I think my whole thing was I tried to keep in my mind the whole time, what are we trying to get out of this? Because I could have gotten the weeds and attacking their position and attacking why I thought their position didn't make sense. I could have got more and more into the weeds attacking it. But I kept telling myself, where are we trying to get? Keep steering people. Okay, how do we get here? Can we get here? Can we start bike swing government? Can we get here? Can we get here? Can we get here? And I think as long as you go into any conversation knowing where your end point is, then wherever the conversation goes, you can make sure you drive to the end point. You know what I'm saying? You can make sure it ends up where you want it.
Do you feel like if you would have targeted their weaknesses because I wanted to say some controversial stuff. I wanted to get on BSA.
Right.
She was kind of blowing me.
Right.
Because I wanted to get on that. Because, like, nigga,
Speak
y'all are supposed to be the alliance, nigga.
Right.
Y'all are supposed to do it. And y'all not doing y'all job. Y'all trying to be an org.
Right.
That's what I wanted to say. But, you know, I didn't want to, I knew you had your objective of the meeting. And I didn't want to take it to another turn and it get messy.
Right.
So that's why, and I could see that type of girl, she fire up on the nigga. So I didn't even want that smoke at that moment. So I just let her have it.
Right.
Feel me?
Right.
But like, yeah. Like I was gonna say, like, do you feel like attacking their weak points and pointing that out would have helped you helped gain more people? Maybe not BSA, but like the whole other audience.
Go ahead, Mo.
No, I don't think so. Cause like you said, attacking their weak points.
Yeah, because they kept bringing up, oh yeah, it may have not worked in the past, but we can. I don't see why we should like start it again.
Like you're saying, like attack, like you should have.
Yeah, because I feel like you should point out why it didn't work. I feel like you should point out what are y'all still doing that's not working that y'all still doing, and why we should try this. That's my thing.
So here's what I had realized, because the thing is, at the beginning of the conversation, I was pointing out. So in the first hour, right? Because this went on for like 3 hours. In the first hour, we were having a point by point. And I said all of that. I said, hey, we tried this, da-da-da-da. I said it's over-reliance on presidents, da-da-da. So I laid those points out. Clear attack. I realized in about hour 3 that it was no longer about what was the more logical route.
Not at all.
And more about, in my opinion, a personal thing.
Yeah.
And so once I got to that point, I said, okay, here's what I got to do. I got to lose. I said, for this to win, I have to lose. So I have to let them win. And so let them have BPC, right? Because we had people who invested in BPC. We had people who were part of BPC, who were presidents of BPC, VPs of BPC. So they have a tie to it. And so I said, and they're no longer arguing about the logic. It feels like, even though their words are saying one thing, I'm feeling something else. They're arguing against me, right?
Facts.
And so I said,
you could really hear that in what they were saying.
exactly. So I said, I'll take the loss. Like, I'll lose the argument and win the war. And so that's what I did. And so I could have, right, like I said, I could have got down in there and we could have went the whole night just arguing. But I'm like, again, where am I trying to go with this? Like, where am I trying to go? And I want to circle back. We'll talk about that, and we'll talk about Black Texas State. But I want to talk about one more thing about leadership, which is the difference between a visionary leader and a managing leader. And which ones do y'all think? Do y'all think, for somebody who's the head of an organization, which one do y'all think is more important, and why do you think that's more important?
I feel like a visionary leader would be more important for like an org and like a school.
I'm talking about any organization.
Any organization.
Right. You could think of
I feel
a
like
business.
a visionary leader would be the best because like.
And what are the qualities like? What do you like?
I got you.
Yeah.
So like, a visionary leader would be best because like, you're a leader of the org, but you're not the only person in the org, right? So you can have somebody that's a manager,
right,
doing the things that managerial leader would be doing. But the qualities of a visionary leader to me is somebody that has a big end goal or like a big long-term goal. For me, like I can see where this is going. I can see what I can do to take this. For me, I can see where I can take these people and take these things. For me, take advantage of these opportunities to get to where I need to go.
Wait, quickly, you said manager leader or visionary leader?
Yeah.
Okay.
And do you need me to break down like what?
No.
Okay.
It's actually I might ramble a little bit, so stop.
Go ahead.
But look, boom. Here, I say visionary because from throughout this whole conversation, it kind of like showed me like, okay, you need skills to be a leader,
okay,
whether you like it or not. You need to be able to read people in some type of way.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be able to see what jobs work for people in the future you have for people. That's some type of psychology. You need to be able to speak communication. You need to be able to have knowledge So you need some type of skills. And as a manager, you can have those skills, but it's like you don't want to be able to manage potential. You want to be able to push potential forward and bring it to the max potential that it can reach. So I feel like it's just better in general to have a visionary leader, because that's just what you would want for the future of any organization, any person.
Right.
So
is
I was
Go
gonna
ahead.
say, I feel like visionary more so because, like, for example, like when I came into my position being VP, I kind of had like an idea and more so a perspective that I wanted the org to have come the end of like this semester. Because coming into this position, I was kind of feeling like, I feel like the org is too like, I feel like the org is too this. Like we need to have more fun, more like interactive shit to bring in more people and then smack them in the face with the knowledge and stuff like that. So, and that came with you bringing JT into social events, us kind of slowing down on community service and stuff like that, and more focusing on our members and hosting more social gatherings, more fun, interactive things, so we can bring in more members and stuff like that. And I feel like that's where we are now at the end of like my term being VP and stuff like that. So like having a vision, especially in the example I'm giving, like in an org, you have to have, in my opinion, to be a good leader, you have to have some type of growth plan. If you leave your position being a leader and it's still the same, I personally don't think you're a good leader, in my opinion.
Just managing it.
Exactly. You're just maintaining. I feel like a good leader is able to push and grow and actually get back more results than what you found when you came to that position.
Right. I actually put that when I was writing the Constitution for BMU. I put for the president's job, not falling back on past successes, always having a vision for the future. Because I'm like, I forgot where I read this at, but like the CEO of a company, like they might not even necessarily know like the nuts and bolts of how to do things, but they know where we're trying to go. So they have the overarching vision of like the Steve Jobs, like the iPhone. Like I was finna say he didn't know how to make the iPhone. That wasn't true. But like even if he didn't, it's like he just knows we need to make the iPhone. He gives it to the people who know how to do it and say, hey, make this for me. Right? And that's just writing down ideas, say, hey, make this for me. And so I'm like, as a leader, you not only need to have a vision, but this is what I think is most important, is you need to be able to sell people on the vision. Like people need to be like, I'm with that. And so here's my thing. When I first became president of BMU, we wasn't like on no pro-black stuff at all. At all. We had no pro-black meetings at all. I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It was after I read the autobiography of Malcolm X, and the whole summer I was watching Dr. Umar videos and blah. I came back and I was like, oh my goodness. And I looked at BMU and I was like, we got to do something here. We got to, right? But it's like, how do I sell all of these people? Like, this is the important thing. I had to learn how to sell people. So I had to make it important to them. So it's gotten to a point now where I can have a conversation with a black man and I have a playbook of what I say to you to get you to invest. Are you pro-black? Would you say you're pro-black? What do you think pro-black means? I got it down to a science to where I'm like, I'm going to get you to invest in the vision, because if I can talk to who you are as a person and then tie that into what we do in BMU, all of a sudden you're going to be like, well, damn, I have to be a part of this, right? So it's not only important about having a vision, because you can have a vision and be somebody who just thinks about great things, but if other people aren't bought into it too, then it's not going to go anywhere. And I also wanted to say to your point, you were talking about leadership and psychology. I had a book over there, right there in front of Roy, which is The Laws of Human Nature. That's another book I read when I was becoming president, because I was like, I need to know how to move around people. Like I need to know when somebody's talking to me that they're paying attention. I need to know, what are the signs that somebody, aren't feeling good. That was the more thing I was talking about, is like, how do I know if people are really, really invested in BMU? I need to be able to read body language. And so I read The Laws of Human Nature and I read this book.